Man, I wish I could play Black Ops 3, but I don't want to plug in my old Xbox to play it. Just buy it on Steam. Oh, right. It's $60. Yeah, and that's just for the base game. Just play World at War. Yeah, I could, but that doesn't have the polished feel like Black Ops 3 has. Ooh, I found something that may pique your interest. Really? Let me have a look. Oh, damn. That's right, folks. My long-awaited Sker Ritual review is finally here. Sorry for making you watch that fucking cringe at the beginning of the video. Um, yeah, I was bored, wanted to make a cool intro, and that's what I came up with. I will maybe get better at doing those kind of skit things eventually. One thing I want to preface before I start this is that this video does contain spoilers for the game. I don't really go into the lore, anything behind the game too much, but I do talk about and reveal certain things that do happen in the game. So if you don't want to go into this game with any spoilers, click off the video right now. Thank you for watching this far, at least. All right, with that though, let's get into it, shall we? So Sker Ritual is an indie round-based co-op survival FPS game created by Wales Interactive. The game is seemingly inspired by Call of Duty Zombies, and it's also a spin-off of Sker of of Whale Interactive's other game, Made of Sker. And it's honestly very cool to see them go from a full-blown horror title to an action-packed FPS game. Upon loading into the game for the first time, you are, of course, greeted by the title screen. When you look at the title screen, three things are going to capture your eye. The play button, the Sker Pass in the store. When you look at the Sker Pass, you'll see that Sker Ritual has 4 season passes, one for each of the 4 maps. They are completely free and can be switched between whenever you wish, and they just exist as more reason to replay the maps, and they're just harmless reward farms. Some of the cosmetics in that Sker Ritual Pass is really cool. you can become a bunny, I think, or you can get a bunny mask or some shit like that. Really cool, right? Really cool. When you enter the store, you will find a lot of paid cosmetics. These are just ways for you to support the devs, though. They don't offer any real advantage besides the Dragus Terror Pack. And the only reason that one would kind of be pay to win or like a little bit cheaty is because you can breathe fire. I don't know the values of the fire. I'm imagining it's not anything super impressive. It probably looks cool, I'd imagine. However, you can rest easy knowing that it's not riddled with microtransactions, and you can just buy the game and play it, and you don't have to worry about anything else. And then finally, when you hit the play button, you're greeted by 4 maps. We will start with the first map, Cursed Lands of Lavernac. I don't know how to pronounce that word. I looked it up before, and I just forgot. But anyhow, it's the first map of Sker Ritual. It starts off the grand epic with the text, awoken by a mysterious woman, task you to defeat a horde of freaks and stop a plot of world domination, danger around every corner, and a mad giant on the rampage. Obey, fight, survive. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's ominous, not too specific, but it gets the point across of what you're doing pretty well. When you load into the map, you are in what appears to be a rundown church called the Old Chapel. In this room, you will find basically all the essentials of what the map will have. Like a box called the Laughing Policeman's Ammo Blammo, sorry, which is your resupply for ammo. So instead of having to rely on max ammo, you can just buy ammo, which is really nice. You also have the Laughing Policeman's Magnificent Munitions. This is this game's alternative to the wall weapons, so you can buy all the weapons in the game. Not the game, but most of the weapons you would find in the box. You will also find a life token vendor, or perk machine. It's a perk machine. And this is this game's way of quick revive. It's quick revive. When I wrote this part, they didn't have the revive feature. So in Call of Duty Zombies, you of course can pick someone up when they go down. Sker Ritual didn't have this, but it is now. So it's no longer the way of the reviving the player. It is just quick revive. But also a way for you to revive yourself if you go down. Like, I think if you die. I'm not sure. I need to play the game more. There's also the perks. You get introduced to the perks in the first area. The perk you can find in the map is called Swift Death. It just adds fire rate to your weapon. There's also an in-game difficulty toggler in the form of a sword and shield shrine. So basically, the sword will increase the difficulty and the shield will lower it. This is so fucking cool. I like the idea of having a in-game difficulty toggler. So you're playing, you have your friend, he sucks maybe, and you realize, oh shit, I set it to hard, so you can drop the difficulty in game without having to leave the map. And then when you're in the starting zone, you will of course be being attacked by these zombie-like creatures called Quiet Ones. And when you kill them, you're awarded points. So they only give you points on death, instead of like in the other zombie games where if you killed them, you were awarded points when you caused damage to them. Also, after completing a round, roughly, I think it's like every 2 rounds or something like that, but you'll be given these miracles, which are this game's roguelike element. So this game has a roguelike element to it, which allows you get different perks or buffs and shit like that, like critical fire, right? Makes your gun do more crits. Fire rate, speeds, like straight up just shoot fire, I think, is one of the perks. And you also can get shit for your elixir and your ultimate skill. You have an ultimate skill bar, which fills up when you kill zombies, something like that. It's a great feature. I think zombies really does need a roguelike, or like a roguelike element to it, and I'm so glad Sker Ritual added it. After taking in all the things in the starting zone, you will then notice a door, and after buying it, you will start the game's main objective, or Easter egg. I'm going to call it an Easter egg. I know it's called mission objectives, but it's the Easter eggs from Call of Duty. And there you'll be directed by markers that complete steps in uncovering the mysteries of this map. You'll have to destroy 4 generators, open the door, find an underground chamber, and they're tasked with finding 4 cylinders. And then the objectives to get these 4 cylinders will introduce you to the game's like quest mechanics, like acquiring the Wonder Weapon. This map has the Wonder Waff, which is inspired by what the fuck? What did I write there? Oh, okay. This map's Wonder Weapon is called the Thunderbolt, and it's inspired by the Wonder Waff from Call of Duty. Another staple of this game is standing in circles. You will stand in a lot of circles for this map. It kind of gets annoying, but usually it's alright. There's also a puzzle involving a lamp. This is unique to the map. Kinda. Puzzle solving with codes isn't unique to the map, but puzzle solving with a lamp is unique to this map. Escort quests, and letting special Quiet Ones hit an oven. Quiet Ones will hit other things in the other maps. In this map, it's an oven. Which brings me to another thing about Sker Ritual, the Quiet Ones. So, normal Quiet Ones just have a bag over the head with an axe. They also have variants that have a scythe. Or a sickle, not a scythe. Sorry. There's also blaze slingers, which are projectile-throwing Quiet Ones with quite the diet. They're fat. They're very obese. And they shoot, I'm guessing, inflamed bile. That's what it probably is. There's also banshees, which are female Quiet Ones that yell and teleport when hit. There's also a stalker enemy, which you will learn more about during the Easter egg. And then upon getting all the Easter eggs, or the Easter eggs, the cylinders, and returning them to the pedestal, and completing a few more steps, you will be facing Abraham. This is the official name of the stalker enemy that you've been dealing with up until now. And following either a lengthy battle or a quick one, depending on your build with miracles and weapons, an exit portal will open, ending the map. Overall, pretty cool map, right? Does a really good job. On to the second map of Sker Ritual, we have the Ashes of Sker Hotel. So this map is the ruins of the game Made of Sker. So for those who played the other game, I haven't, you'll probably get some nostalgia here, because it's the map from that game. This map adds some new things over the last map. All the maps add something over the first map. In this map, they added new Quiet Ones called Killer Watson Husks. So kilowatts are these electric enemies that shoot projectiles. So less like very skinny versions of blaze singers, except they shock you. And then there are these husks. Now the web page announcing this update from Wales Interactive says that they make it so you and your teammates can damage each other or something like that, and like will die easier. I don't remember how that specifically works in games, so I'm just gonna take their word for it and go with that. If you guys know what that does specifically, let me know. This map also has a new wonder weapon in the form of the Howler. So the Howler is a blunderbuss that shoots ricocheting rounds, and it's fucking amazing. The Howler is also needed for the hotel's Easter egg. Like all maps have a wonder weapon that requires they need for the Easter egg. This map's Easter egg is very similar to the first map's Easter egg, with the added mission of building an animatronic rat. Yeah, so you have to build or find pieces and assemble them to make a rat. And to be honest, major FNAF vibes from the old Ratty Boy, right? Like spooky Chuck E. Cheese kind of shit. It was cool. It was really fun. The Sker Ritual, the Sker Hotel also has a different stalker enemy in the form of a magician who uses walking cane to hit the player with magic. So he'll basically do like this aerial, not AoE attack, like in the form of a wave kind of thing at the player. And then after going through the main mission steps, you will be able to fight the boss of the hotel in the form of a larger magician named Isaac. So this is, of course, the stalker, that magician that you've been fighting. However, he's just bigger now because he's the boss now. And his name's Isaac. And yeah, the boss fight doesn't change too much from Abraham, right? It's roughly the same except like a new coat of paint. However, this boss introduces summoning ads for you to fight, which could be annoying depending on how you want to do. However, once you kill him, the map's defeated. And overall, yeah, fucking really great fucking second map. The third map in Sker Ritual is the Sewers of the Dead. The Sewers has to be the most unique visual map in the game. It starts you off in a fleshy cell, requiring you to shoot your way through the openings to progress. Like literally, the entire like starting area of the map is just fleshy walls, and you have like these cells doors that you have to buy, but in front of them is these fleshy mangled bits that you have to shoot through. And then once you leave the sewers, you are greeted with trains and much needed greenery. And then starting with the new additions to this map, we have two new enemies: the Gutto something. It's a very fast elite opponent who moves unpredictably. And then when you pair that with the second new enemy, the Demon Hag, this map becomes quite difficult because you not only have to dodge a very fast, unpredictable enemy, but another projectile throwing thing. And this map also brings back Blade Singers, so you have to dodge two projectile throwing enemies, which sucks. The Sewers also has a new wonder weapon called the Plague. It shoots purple mist and has a design very similar to Rat King. Is it that similar? Not really, but it has rats on a gun, which Rat King also has, so yeah, I'm saying it looks like the Rat King from Destiny 2. This weapon is needed for the Easter egg because you're gonna have to shoot bulbs and shit like that. And also, for one of the new Easter egg steps, you have rats and wheels. So there are these dead people. They have a wheel in them, and they have rats. And it can move on to move on in the Easter egg steps. You have to shoot it with Plague. Before the time limit runs out. The Sewers also introduces a new quiet one escort step. So before it was lambs, now it's a quiet one. The only difference between this and the lamb is that this fucker doesn't need you to escort it. It wants money to be moved, which I hate. I think the lambs were so much better. And then once you make your way through the remaining mission steps, you will enter a portal into the Stranger's Land, which is just a very large boss arena. You'll have this dude. Shooting his eyes will trigger his damage phase, and the damage phase is you have to go under the underground area of the arena and shoot his human body to destroy the boss. And then once you've done that, repeatedly, he'll die, and you will beat the map. Overall, the map's really cool. I just really don't like the final boss. And then currently, the last map of Sker Ritual is Deadly Lover's Fortress. So Fortress contains many references and callbacks to May the Sker and the other maps in this game. So I highly recommend you go through the first 3 maps that I covered, then Deadly Lover's Fortress if you were to play this game yourself. However, yeah, it's not that big of a deal. To put it bluntly, though, this map is by far the most intricate and fun of the 4 maps. It includes 2 bosses, right, which is huge in comparison to the other maps. A new wonder weapon, which is a sword that you're going to have to forge with your own hands. And when you get the sword, it will call down these purple particles in an AoE effect, right, damaging enemies. And you will need it to complete the Easter egg like the other maps. The fortress also adds a new quiet one. This is in the form of a knight who has a sword and armor and shit. He looks kind of cool. The main Easter egg also has you required the severed heads of the past bosses, such as Abraham, Isaac, and the Stranger, which was like, holy shit, I saw this, I did it, and it was like, oh my god, what the fuck? How fucking scary is the last boss gonna be? And then you also have to collect the head of a new boss called Balor. So you'll fight Balor 3 times during the Easter egg. He'll be slightly different in each one. However, once you beat him, you can move on into the Easter egg. And then once you defeated him and have collected all the heads, you can move on to the final boss, Elizabeth and Thomas. So Elizabeth and Thomas are the protagonists or like characters in the last game, Made of Sker. So I'm sure there's lore to them. I just don't know what it is. So when you go into the boss fight, you'll be in a big triangle room, Illuminati confirmed. And while you'll fight Thomas on the ground, Elizabeth will be in a chair, seemingly controlling the electric beams. I don't know if that's what's actually going on, but that's just what I took it as. And then while dealing with that, this deadly pair will summon additional quiet ones for you to fight. So you have to kill them and the boss. And then once you beat the boss, depending on your build, of course, it'll be lengthy or short. Thomas will die and Elizabeth just kind of disappears, leaving you with a completed map. With the final map completed, the main Easter egg questline for Sker Ritual is complete. For now, Wales Interactive has stated there should be more once the game leaves early access, but for now, that is all for now. Hey guys, how's it going? Past, future, present, Panda here. So, with the Sker video finished, I wanted to give more of a rambly closing thoughts on the game. So, overall, I think the game is pretty fucking good. It really drives home that feel of playing Black Ops 3. Well, not even Black Ops 3, just Call of Duty Zombies in general. I think one of the biggest things is that I want to play Call of Duty Zombies, and it's like, fucking hell, the game's still like $60 on Steam. I play World at War. I have a World at War on Steam, and it's just like, damn, like, fuck, I wanna play like Black Ops 3 or like one of the newer Call of Duties and shit like that. And Sker Ritual really takes that edge. There's a few things I think the game could do better, like melee, right? Like melee kind of sucks. Like the weapons are kind of trashy. And they've addressed it. It's like, oh yeah, we're going to be working on making sure the miracles get buff the melee weapons. So I'm not really too worried about that. Another thing that kind of sucks is like you are forced to use the wonder weapon for the maps and that kind of shit. And that kind of just sucks. And I feel like a really good way of fixing that is either add a third weapon slot when you pick up the wonder weapon, or add like a mule kick perk kind of thing like that. I think that would go like a long way of increasing or making the game a lot more healthier with the wonder weapons and shit like that. But overall, like a nice solid 8 out of 10, right? Like just a fucking fantastic game. And the fact that it's still early access and there's going to be more content coming in is fucking just fantastic. Another thing I wanted to do in this like little post segment thing was rank the maps. Right? So we'll start from my least favorite maps and work our way up. So my least favorite map is the third map, which is called the sewers. So I think overall, sewers is really good. I just fucking hate the boss, like the final boss fight, the stranger boss fight, so goddamn much. Um, that just kills the entire map for me. And on top of that, it also introduced the paid quiet one, and that really fucking pissed me off as well when playing it. Like, the map's cool, the wonder weapon's cool, the map overall is good, but the boss fight and the fucking quiet one just really ruined it for me. Um, but like again though, there's 4 maps and all of them are really fucking good. So like the worst one is still really fucking great. My third place map would be the second map. The what was it? The Ashes of Sker Hotel. So it's cramped, right? The map is really cramped, and it tries to draw in from the horror elements of Made of Sker, like the like dog ground. This game's dog ground is like all dark and spooky and shit and that kind of stuff, and it just kills the vibe, I think. It also, the killer watts, really fucking annoying. Like they're not fun to deal with. They're a lot better than the sewers mobs, or like elite client ones, but yeah, they suck. And the Easter egg steps are annoying. Like the abyss step really hurts. But overall, I really like the aesthetic. The Howler is a fucking funny as hell wonder weapon. And the lambs don't die at the end of the labyrinth step, which is great. And the boss fight was alright, so I don't know. Like, I don't have anything I genuinely hate about the map. It's just like, eh. So that's why it's number 3, because I think the stranger fight just really fucking killed the sewer map. But yeah, my second map is of course going to be the first one, the Cursed Lands. It's a really good first map. It definitely holds up in the 4 maps, unlike Noct in World at War. Noct kind of sucks because it's the first map, but in Cursed Lands, yeah, it does a fantastic job of being a first map. Introduces you to all the shit that you need to do, all that stuff. And the boss fight was cool. Having the Stalker be the fucking final boss was cool as shit, like in that. The Easter eggs and puzzles were fucking fantastic and stuff like that. And having the Wonder Waff as the wonder weapon for the map was really cool, right? Like, oh yeah, hey, we're going to be inspired by Call of Duty Zombies. Here you go. Here's the Wonder Waff, and it's like, oh fuck yeah, that's great. Yeah, just a really good map. And then my favorite map is of course going to be the Lover's Fortress, or Deadly Lover's Fortress. Yeah, they fucking knocked it out of the park with that map. It was so good. Having fucking 2 different boss fights in one map, having to fight a Balor 3 times was cool, and him being like, he didn't do anything different, but he was a different color, and he was slightly harder than the last fights, and shit like that. And then and then Elizabeth and, what was his name? Elizabeth and Thomas and Elizabeth, they were cool. I didn't play the last game, so I don't exactly know the lore behind them, but the boss fight was alright. I got a little salty during my playthrough of it because I died and I reset the boss, but that was entirely on my end and not the game's fault. The map's layout and visuals are fucking amazing. The wonder weapon crafting, really cool. The other weapons you just kind of get, like you just have to pay points. But for Shattering Edge, yeah, you make that bitch. You forge it, and it's really cool. And all the tie-ins to the other maps is cool, like having to put Abraham Isaacs, the Strangers, and Balor's head in a fucking wall to get to the final boss was like, yeah, you fought these 4 bosses. They were kind of cool, right? Yeah, you need their heads to open up the last boss, because these fuckers are really, really cool and shit like that. But yeah, overall, game's really good. I highly recommend it and shit like that. Join their Discord and shit, and get all the updates and shit like that. But with that, thank you for watching. And if you made it this far and have enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe. I fucking hate doing that. I'm going to probably never do it again. But yeah, until next time, thank you for watching. Goodbye.